Hello, my creative friends. I want to talk about art journaling with the moon for the week of July 31st to August 6th. It's an exciting week with a full moon in Aquarius happening on Tuesday. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that in this video. I'm also going to explain what areas of your life that full moon is going to be focused on according to your rising sign. So you're going to want to take out your birth chart, and as I've suggested many times, I would even print out your birth charts and place it in your art journal at the beginning of your art journal or somewheres where you can just refer to it every week if you art journal with the moon alongside me, because it's really handy dandy for helping you to understand more deeply how to work with that lunar energy to help you practice your magic and also to tend to your soul. I personally love working with the moon to help me co-regulate my nervous system, to also do my deep shadow work, and to work on my emotional issues and clear or tend to any inner parts that might be interfering with my magic or with my lunar intentions that I want to set every new moon and sometimes the full moon as well. This particular full moon is going to be great to work on your full moon intentions with. So, and to just my focus is going to be to amplify the intentions that I had during the new moon in Cancer. So I'm going to take you through that in this video as well. So I hope you enjoy the advice and the suggestions that I give for working with the lunar energy each day of the week this week, from Monday all the way till Sunday on August 6th. Enjoy. We're talking about the moon this week for the week of July 21st to August 6th, as I mentioned. And you'll see this particular graphic is also available on my blog, and the more detailed information will be there as well. So you might want to check that out. It's at danadepont.com/blog. This week, we're actually moving towards that full moon on Tuesday. And that full moon in Aquarius is also happening on a holiday called Lunasa. And that holiday is, I believe, halfway between summer and fall. So it's kind of celebrating that space in time for us where we're kind of starting to feel like summer is ending, but not quite yet. Like, let's not go there yet, at least in the northern hemisphere. That's the way it is. Um, and so if you do celebrate that particular holiday, you're going to have great energy in which to do it in, because the moon is having a relationship with Jupiter, which is a beautiful planet that brings in the blessings and some goodness and really helps us to grow spiritually and expand. But it also is that super moon, which means the full moon is closer and more magnetic with the earth. And so it just, to me, is a great week and a great day, that particular day, to really work on some manifestation or some amplifying intentions, which we'll talk a little bit more about as we go along. So on Monday, the growing moon, it's obviously the gibbous moon is going to be very close to that full moon, and probably indistinguishable, I imagine, in the night sky. And the moon is moving into the sign of Aquarius, where it will be during the full moon, and that it's also having a happy relationship with the planet Uranus. And Uranus actually rules Aquarius. So I think it's a great day to celebrate being yourself, even when you don't fit in with the people who surround you. So in our art journals, we're going to focus on drawing, painting, or collaging an image that celebrates a time when you expressed who you really are, even though no one around you seems to understand or appreciate your expression. On Tuesday, that full moon in Aquarius is happening, and there's that tension between the moon in Jupiter, which actually can create inspiration and motivation and joy It's a great energy to stretch yourself, take a risk, take a leap of faith, trust your intuition, and push yourself forward in the direction you most want to go. So it's a good day for amplifying your new moon intentions. And in your art journal, I would really, of course, focus on creating an image that represents your new moon intentions so that you can amplify them again. But I'm also going to take you later on in the video more specifically what that looks like according to your rising sign. So, how you want to work with that full moon energy in a more specific way. And so, I would fast forward if you're interested in that right away, or just make note of that conversation because it's going to be helpful, especially if you do a full moon ritual, or if you tend to do your rituals in your art journal like I do. You're going to want to understand how to work with it according to your rising sign. On Wednesday, the moon is still in that full moon sign. It's in an opposing relationship with Venus. And so that makes it a good day to be mindful in relationships. It's also a day where you might feel more lonely than usual. So we're actually going to use that as an opportunity to do a little bit of emotional healing work and to ask yourself, where in your life do you feel lonely? So you can create an image that visually represents your relationship with loneliness, because I think we all experience loneliness, but it's helpful to explore that experience and what it's like for you personally so that you can get a deeper awareness of your relationship with loneliness and how to work with it in a way that's productive or harmonious. On Thursday, that last day is the last day of the full moon phase, and the moon is in the sign of Pisces. It's a good day for working with your emotions, your creativity, your intuition, also for thinking about your creative nature. So, in our art journals, we're going to focus on celebrating your creativity. So, what do you like about your creativity? Or what's one positive thing you can say about your creative nature? I like doing this in my art journal from time to time because it really is nice to spend a moment just celebrating the fact that I can enhance and expand and benefit from and enjoy my creativity. On Friday, the moon is in that disseminating phase, so it's starting to wane. It's a really good time to rest, relax, rejuvenate, and all those waning phases are a great time for that. It's a time to kind of release and let go. This is a great day to express some gratitude as well, and it's also that good day for the release. So, in our art journals, I'm choosing to focus on what represents creating an image that represents what I want to release or forgive or let go. On Saturday, we're still in that waning moon. Obviously, we will be for a while as we're moving towards another new moon. But that waning moon is going to be in the sign of Aries, and it's going to be having a happy relationship with the sun. And that sun really represents having vitality in your body because the sun represents vitality and the moon represents the body. So it's also a good day for feeling confident and feeling free to be yourself, or in other words, to break down the walls of protection and allow your spirit to shine in the world, which has a little bit of that same flavor as the full moon. So I like how it's kind of amplifying that for us this week, that intention of expressing yourself and who you really are, regardless of the other people in your life or how they might be different. It's also a good day to just go with the flow, because there might be a little bit more flow or ease than usual. So, in your art journal, you can draw, paint, or collage an image that represents going with the flow. What does that mean to you? What does it feel like to you to go with the flow? And then on Sunday, we are with the disseminating moon, and it's having a happy relationship with the planet Venus. So it's a good day to surrender, trust, do things that make you feel happy, nurtured, and cared for, and express yourself in kind, gentle ways in your relationships. So we're going to work with that Venus, um, energy that the moon is drawing down from Venus in our art journals by creating an image that celebrates the planet Venus. So you might even think of like making an altar for Venus in your art journal. I want to talk a little bit more this week about that full moon in Aquarius and understanding it from the perspective of your rising sign. So, if you have your birth chart, you'll want to take a look at it and see where that full moon energy is being focused on. If you don't yet have your astrological birth chart, you can draw one up easily on by using astro.com or a similar website. I actually have a video on my YouTube channel that helps to describe exactly the steps to do this. So you can go and watch that so that you know your rising sign. Your rising sign is different than your sun or your moon sign. So it's important to understand what it is because that is how you learn where the moon is according to the astrological signs on your birth chart. And so you'll see that the first house is what your rising sign is. So whatever it is, whatever astrological sign you see here on your first house, that's your rising sign. And each house is in charge of different areas of your life or represents different areas of your life. And so the full moon is going to be in a different house, meaning going to be focused on um, and influencing different areas of your life more than others. So that full moon in Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus. It's innovative, it's quirky, it's eccentric, it's unconventional. It likes to help us think outside the box and vision innovative solutions for the future. It also likes us to stay wild and beautiful and think for ourselves and experience breakthroughs and aha moments because that Aquarius is that air sign and embrace where we're not like everyone else. It helps us to step back and see the bigger picture so you can figure out what's important to focus on now in your life. That full moon in Aquarius is an air sign, as I mentioned, so you might be up in your head a lot or feel a little spacey during this full moon, and that's okay because that's where you're wanting to grab the inspiration, the divine inspiration, or just connect with the realm of spirit. It's really helpful with that energy and also to explore creative ideas. So if it is affecting you in a negative way or in a way that creates a little bit more stress or anxiety, then do something that just really helps you be present in your body on that during that full moon. This is a moon that's also having a relationship with Jupiter, while Jupiter is having a relationship with Mars. So the moon is drawing down that energy of Jupiter. So it's if it's Jupiter is having other relationships with other planets, then it's important to understand that as well. And this brings a fire to go for what you really want and take action in that direction. So there's so many things about this particular full moon that makes it a really great moon for amplifying your new moon intentions or to focus on manifestation. So, any kind of magic or healing work that you want to do towards manifestation is a great time for that. I explore healing work during my manifestation work as well because if I have a desire or if I want to move in a certain direction in my life, but not all of my parts inside of myself are in agreement with that. So maybe I have younger parts, or maybe I have past life parts, or maybe I have parts within myself that are just carrying some memories that they haven't fully processed or moved through. And so they're not going to feel in agreement with my new moon intentions or with the intentions that I want to amplify. So I really work on getting those parts of me on board with my intentions um, as I'm doing my manifestation work. So this is why I do the emotional healing with the moon because it's really helpful to tend to those parts so that I can lead them and we can go in the direction that I really want to go and not get interrupted all the time by procrastination or self-sabotage or anxiety or any of those symptoms that come up when our younger, more vulnerable parts step forward and are afraid to move forward. That Full moon in Aquarius with that tense relationship with the planet Jupiter also brings that radiance, that harmony, well being, kindness, abundance, growth, and balance. And the tension between the moon and Jupiter will create that good space for inspiration, motivation, and joy. It's really great energy to stretch yourself in and to take that leap of faith and trust yourself and your intuition. It's also a great day for clarity and illumination. And that full moon is representative of your peak of power. So it's that energy that can really help you revisit the deeper reasons behind your goals and dreams, and then use that to amplify your new moon intentions. So, to personalize this full moon, we're going to get specific and see the area of your life that this full moon energy is focused on. So again, looking at your rising sign. So if your rising sign is Aries, the moon this week is moving through your 10th and your first house, but that full moon energy is going to be in your 11th house. And that's the house of your friendships, groups, community, and hopes and wishes. So you want to look at your new moon intentions that you made during the Cancer new moon. And you want to think, how would these areas of my life be affected in a positive way if my new moon intentions became a reality? Or what healing needs to happen in these areas of my life to support the new moon intentions I made? Because you're either going to want to or it's not just either, it could be both as well. You might want to do some healing work during your full moon ritual, where you're tending to some inner parts in the beginning and even doing a little bit of divination, because the full moon is great for illuminating and gaining insight and clarity. So I would definitely do some divination work this full moon. And you might want to do that and then work on doing some manifestation or some visualization. The Taurus, if your rising sign is Taurus, the moon is moving through your ninth to your 12th house, and that full moon is in your house of career, reputation, and success. So, if your new moon intentions became a reality, how would those areas of your life be affected in a positive way? Or ask yourself, what healing needs to happen in my career or my reputation or my ideas of success in order to support my new moon intentions becoming a reality? If your rising sign is Gemini, the moon is moving through your 8th to your 11th house this week, but that full moon is in your house of, it's in the ninth house. So that's the house of spirituality, of faith, of international travel, of publishing and higher education. If your new moon intentions became a reality, how would those areas of your life be affected in a positive way? Or what healing needs to happen in those areas of your life in order to help your new moon intentions become real? If your rising sign is Cancer, the moon is moving through your 7th to your 10th house, and that full moon is in your 8th house, which is the house of death, debt, taxes, shared money, and your psyche. And when I think of your psyche, I often think of it in terms of like my emotional or my mental well being. So, if your new moon intentions that you made during the Cancer new moon became a reality, how would those areas of your life be affected in a positive way? So, how might that support and help your emotional um, or mental well being? Or how might it affect your relationship with debt or your relationship with debt? And shared money or taxes. So, just looking at those different areas and also maybe considering, what healing do I need to do in those areas in order to help my new moon intentions become a reality? If your rising sign is Leo, the moon is moving through your 6th to your ninth house. And that full moon is in your house of intimate relationships, marriage, and partnerships, because it's in your 7th house. And if your new moon intentions became a reality, how would your relationships, well, your really close and intimate relationship, because the 7th house rules those um, close and intimate relationships like marriage or best friend relationships, or just someone who you're really, really close to, and also any partnerships. So you can also ask yourself, what healing do I need to do in those relationships in order to support my new moon intentions becoming a reality? If your rising sign is Virgo, the moon is moving through your fifth to your eighth house, but that full moon energy is going to be in your sixth house. And that's your house of health, daily routines, work tasks, and your relationship with your pets. So, if your new moon intentions became a reality, how would these areas of your life be affected in a positive way? Or what healing might you need to do in those areas of your life in order to help your new moon intentions become a reality? If your rising sign is Libra, the moon is moving through your fourth to your seventh house. And that full moon energy is happening in your fifth house. So that's the house of children, of joy, of creativity, of your sex life, your pleasure, any creative projects that you're working on. So if your new moon intentions became a reality, how would those areas of your life be affected in a positive way? Or what healing do you need to do in those areas of your life in order to help your new moon intentions become a reality? If your rising sign is Scorpio, the moon is moving through your third to your sixth house. And that full moon energy is in your fourth house, which is your house of home or living situation, the house of your parents, your ancestors, your childhood, or like the foundations that grew you. So it's the house of your childhood memories as well. If your new moon intentions became a reality, how would those areas of your life be affected in a positive way? Or what healing needs to happen in those areas of your life in order to support your new moon intentions? If your rising sign is Sagittarius, the moon is moving through your second to your fifth house. That full moon energy is happening in your third house, which is your house of communication, education, siblings, peers, the goddess. If your new moon intentions became a reality in your life, how might you communicate differently? Or how might it support communication in your life? Or how might your education or your relationship with your siblings or your relationship with the goddess and moon rituals or earth-based rituals, how might those be affected in a positive way? Or what healing needs to happen in those areas of your life in order to support your new moon intentions? If your rising sign is Capricorn, the moon is moving through your first to your fourth house this week. And that full moon in Aquarius energy is actually happening in your second house, which is your house of money, your house of income, assets, and livelihood. So, how you earn your living, how you earn your money. If your new moon intentions became a reality, how would those areas of your life be affected in a positive way? And what healing needs to happen in those areas of your life in order to support your new moon intentions? If your rising sign is Aquarius, the moon is moving through your 12th to your third house. And that full moon energy is obviously going to be in your first house because your rising sign is Aquarius. And that's the house of your body, your spirit, your appearance, your personality, like your true essence. If your new moon intentions became a reality, how would it affect those areas of your life in a positive way? And what healing needs to happen in those areas in order to support your new moon intentions becoming a reality? So we're, as you can see, focusing on amplifying those new moon intentions in this full moon energy. And if your rising sign is Pisces, the moon is moving through your 11th to your second house. So the full moon is in your house of the subconscious, because that's your 12th house. It's the house of your secrets, what's hidden, and your deep shadow work. If your new moon intentions became a reality, how would that area of your life be affected? Or what healing needs to happen in your subconscious realm in order to support your new moon intentions becoming a reality? I hope you enjoyed this moon update this week, and I hope you have fun working with the full moon in your art journal and maybe even doing a full moon ritual with your art journal. Have fun, my creative friends.